guys doing today? Whoa, my camera a little crooked. Hold on, let me get y'all together. There we go. How are you guys doing today, y'all? Title and thumbnail of today's video. I'm going to be talking about which gear you should be wheeling in and why this is so fucking important, y'all. A lot of people will either be in a high-ass gear to where their bike won't come up, or if it does, it kind of like bogs out, especially if you're on a two-stroke. Or they're in such a low gear and they got their bike pinned and it's still not coming up. And why it's still not coming up. You feel me? So stay tuned. Make sure you watch the whole video because we're about to dive a little deep into these videos to give y'all the best information possible. Ain't nobody out here doing this for the bike life coach, y'all. So I'm gonna give it to y'all. Guys, so look. It's possible to wheelie in damn near every gear. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sometimes even sixth gear if you have it. You mean? Doesn't mean you should. Sometimes it's not always the best idea to wheelie in first. Sometimes it's not always the best idea to wheelie in third. But second gear, in my opinion, y'all, second gear is the fucking golden gear. Let me explain why. Guys, sometimes you might pick up your bike from a clutch up or a power wheelie in, how a lot of people do. I just don't recommend. But clutching up your bike in first gear is very good. It's very good, and that's usually how you should be learning how to wheelie in either first or second gear, but majority of the time first gear. I learned how to wheelie in first gear because since the gear is shorter and first gear is like the strongest gear, it teaches you how to control your bike with the most power in the shortest amount of time. You know what I mean? So that's why first gear is great, but again, has the most power, but the shortest gear. So you might bring it up in first, but first gear won't last that long. And that's why a lot of people won't keep it up. So shift lock to second. So you come up in first, shift lock to second, y'all. If you're in second gear, to me, like I said, you shouldn't be going that fast. If you have to go to third, that's okay. But most of the time when I'm wheeling, I'm in either second or third gear. And if I go to third gear, I'm most likely going to drop it back, downshift back to second. Because second gear is the golden gear. It has just for street riding, wheelies and stuff, it got just the right amount of power and just the right amount of gearing that you need. Like how long that gear lasts out. So, again, if you're going too fast and you try to wheelie in first gear, it'll come up, but it won't stay up. And you'll end up chasing the wheelie, which will be super fucking bad for y'all. Like, dumb as shit type bad for y'all. And if you're going super fast also, and you try to wheelie in third gear and above, shit, sometimes like fourth gear and above, because you can get away with third every now and then if you know what you're doing. But fourth gear and above, a lot of people, like I said, you can do it, but it is not recommended because you're going too fast. And if the bike doesn't come up, because the higher the gear, the less amount of power. The lower the gear, the more amount of power. You know what I mean? So fourth gear will last longer than first and second, but it's not as strong. So if it does come up, it'll either shoot you up in like, let's say a two-stroke, for example. You're in fourth gear on a two-stroke, 125, let's just say. And it won't come up, it'll probably bog. But once the power band kicks in and it shoots up, not a lot. Most of the time, a lot of people aren't ready for that, especially if you're learning how to wheelie. You know what I mean? So slow it down a little bit. Nobody's haul-assing on these streets, in the lot, in traffic, none of that. And you shouldn't be for the most part. That's the dumbest shit to do. Like, if y'all don't know that right now, what the fuck? And a lot of people do this out here with no protective gear, no helmet, or none of that. If you ain't see that video, check out my last video to get them safety tips. But guys, start in first or second gear. If you start in first gear, you literally gotta be going slow as shit. Like, slow enough to where you almost still need one of your feet down to keep your balance. Type slow. You know what I mean? And most of the bikes. Now, the bigger the power bike, kind of the worse that shit will be. The stronger first gear will be. And give or take, sometimes shorter, sometimes not. But the stronger those gears will be. Now, on my 450, well, my old 450. On my 450, guys, I would start wheeling in second, shift lock to third, because the 450 has a whole lot of amount of power. But like I said, when I'm in third, I drop back and most likely still downshift a second, because the tricks that I do, Superman in, standing on the seat, combos, jumping to the other side, taking the foot off the brake, the lower the gear also means the most engine brake. You feel me? And that's where a lot of those tricks are performed in the engine brake part of the gear. I don't know if that makes sense, but the engine brake part of the gear, the higher the rev, typically the more engine brake it has. Now, I'm not saying have your bike screaming for 4 strokes, but that's where most of the engine brake is and where I do my tricks. So I'll most likely downshift back to second. For 2 strokes, no engine brake whatsoever. So that means it's going to bog out on you if you're going too slow but in a high gear. So if you're in second, you come up, shift lock to third, which is most likely what I would do as well. I usually would downshift back to second and shift lock somehow, some type of way. Just so you mean I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'll start in first, shift lock to second, and stay in second. Or if we're going a little bit faster, I'll be in second, shift lock to third. I'll be good because we're going a little bit faster. But guys, you really don't want to be going super fast, and you really don't want to be going super slow. If you're learning how to wheelie, please do this in a parking lot. Go super slow. But if you're on the street, somewhere in traffic to where shit gets real in the fucking field, guys, slow. You need to speed up a little bit. Slow still is the best thing to do. Slow will always be better than a speed wheelie. But guys, you don't need to be going super slow. Super slow, you need to pick that up a little bit. So that's why I recommend starting in second gear, shift lock to third, or coming up in first and shift locking to second gear, guys. That's where the bike will have enough power, enough stability. It'll be calm, but not too calm to where it'll bog out on you. And it'll have enough power at the same time, y'all. So the most important thing is out here being safe while you're doing what you're doing. Check out the video on safety tips and know your bike and learn which gear you should be wheeling in. Honestly, too high of a gear, the bike will bog out and it won't come up and you'll end up speed wheeling. Too low of a gear, the bike still kind of won't come up and your bike will be screaming, sound like it's going to blow up, and it might fucking blow up. So guys, find the sweet spot in the type of bike you got. Remember, the lower the bike, the less power. The higher the bike, the more power. The shorter the gear, the most power, but the gear is short. And the higher the gear, the less power, but that gear is longer. So find out that sweet spot. Again, second, third gear is the sweet spot. Preferably, I can't say that word. Prefer to be in second gear. You feel me, guys? But like, comment, share, subscribe. Do what you guys do best. I appreciate you guys for watching the whole video and being with me on this journey of me having no bike. So I'm going to feed y'all all the tips and tricks of bike life to get y'all out there, right? Because y'all can't be watching my videos and be out there bum riding and be shitty. I got to keep y'all sharp. You know what I'm saying? I got to help y'all progress to the next level. You feel me? So like, comment, share, subscribe. Do what you guys do best and stay tuned for the next video. We out.